first senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I really like the way the lecture flows, because to me, the entire environment become a mini parliament. You can see banters and counter banters. You can see agreements and disagreements. You can see arguments and counter arguments. This shows that the spirit of Chief Lamai, this is distinguished Senator Chief Lamai late, is still very much alive in this program. And I think it's a very commendable exercise. Politics is about national development. And whatever it is we do as human beings, we are all functions of political environment. So however you want to do well in business, you must have to find a way to shape the political environment so that the business itself can be able to thrive. And it's not just for you, but for everybody. And that's why I was able to manage the business front for some time, and I come into the political front and also is able to drive it. But one of the most important things that I received in this lecture is the fact that leadership is about evolution. Like, we have to evolve our country in our own specific requirements so that we can have a more productive parliament going forward.
We're here to celebrate Lamai, a great senator in our first republic, who has a very progressive son, who I know is aspiring to be a senator like his father. So he's organized this lecture, which has brought something very interesting today. You can see some of our leaders who are here, some doing banter, some speaking in emphasis. We're talking about what the Senate has been from the First Republic till now, and then the issue of accountability and corruption. And we all know, like one of the speakers said, everybody can talk about corruption, but now who is corrupt? Eventually, if you take a survey, it's like every Nigerian is corrupt. But for me, my own input into this issue of corruption is we don't have a punishment system. If you have a punishment system, people will think twice about being corrupt. Take China, for example. They don't spare you if you're corrupt in China. So you think twice. You know, so for we Nigerians, we're hoping and thinking that the new dispensation will try to do things better. So that it's the only way we will have a better country. Our people will end this sort of livelihood.
Is it true?
No, we all knew. For some, I'm not a lawyer, but if you're looking at it, the vice president, who was a senatorial, he's a senator, who had won his ticket to go back to the Senate before he was nominated, withdrew. And INEC, his party, didn't organize another primaries. INEC supervised it, and there was another candidate. So did somebody come in later to bring that as a point of trying to disqualify him? Goes no water. And I'm happy the judiciary did justice by awarding costs so that people should stop coming with frivolous cases. Like there was one presidential candidate yesterday that wanted a cost of 40 million against him. So I think judiciary is beginning to take its rightful place of doing the right thing for us. And that's the one way we're going to make progress.
First, I want to congratulate Chief Richard Lamai, who has organized this memorial lecture in honor of his father. I mean, a lot of lessons have been learned today. It has provided a platform for extraying the role of the National Assembly in national development. A lot of issues have been raised, a lot of problems have been identified, but most importantly is the fact that the National Assembly must at all times, live up to its expectation and be accountable and be able to drive national development through the performance of its constitutionally endowed legislative functions as prescribed by the Constitution, or unnecessary antagonism, but constructive engagement by way of providing superior arguments and engaging in alternative policy ideas through legislations for the executive to also understand. After all, the executive is elected the way the National Assembly members are elected, and the legislators are closer to the people. So we need a legislature, particularly the National Assembly, that understands and performs its functions for the sole purpose of engendering good governance and providing the dividends of democracy for the people of this country.
The thing about it is that this discussion, which they are discussing here in air-conditioned rooms, are being discussed in the bushes, by the bandits, by family men, people in their offices, regarding what is the Senate, is the legislature really relevant? Are they performing their overlapping functions to check the excesses of the executive and the judiciary? And this is very, very relevant because right now the integrity of the judiciary is at stake because of INEC's disgraceful conduct of the presidential elections. I'm not casting aspersion because all these matters are sub judice, and as a lawyer I understand it, but we're looking at all sorts of irregularities that occurred. They are coming up with the beavers is a very good thing, and the beavers, we have to compliment what they did, which helped the Osun State governor to establish that Adeleke, the PDP, won. But what we're trying to say is that this discourse that has started here is something that is so relevant and so pertinent to the relevance of our existence as a nation. Because unless the institutions as provided for under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the ground norm on which our presidential system is operating, is allowed to work as it is, checking all other, the executive checkmating the legislature checkmating the judiciary, it's working in consonance with the law, it's more or less a doom. Because the people now are asking, are these people relevant? Are they providing for us as at what they are supposed to do? And the failure of the people realizing that their leaders have failed them is anarchy. I hope the Presidential Election Tribunal and the CGN, Arewala is a gentleman, and I hope they are aware of the sensitivity of the Nigerian populace regarding the election tribunal, the governorship, the senatorial, the presidential, everything. The integrity of the judiciary must be protected. The judiciary is the last hope of the common man. And if the common man loses confidence in the judiciary, that is an invitation for anarchy.
My father, Senator Lamai, was a humanist. He lived his life serving his community, serving his people, developing policies to bring out the best in every human being. He was a man that abhorred injustice, he abhorred oppression. And there's no better time to celebrate it now when we need to evaluate the performance of the Senate from the First Republic to the Fourth Republic. Because Nigeria is in dire need of direction. A new government is just living. They may have done whatever they did to the best of their ability. Another government is coming in. So this foundation felt it was important to bring people with expertise in lawmaking, expertise in administration, expertise in business, to help profess solutions, chart a course for the incoming administration. Chief Michael Gadume, Professor Michael Gadume, in one of his paragraphs in the speech, he said, an apple does not fall far from the tree. So watch the space. The present legislative arm of government to ensure that whatever policies they are making should be for people, should be for the development of the nation. Policies that will uplift the average living standard of every Nigerian.